Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of the True Talks podcast. Just a few things before we start. As usual, all of the gameplay you're seeing is, in fact, my own. I record it, but it also has nothing to do with what is going on, like what I'm going to be talking about, so you don't have to follow along visually to understand what I'm talking about in the podcast. And also, age rating wise, the podcast hovers around an upper PG to lower PG 13 rating. I will say this episode has a guest on, and I can't tell you what he's gonna do, so I don't know, maybe it'll be higher this time. But yeah, today I'm gonna be talking about how it's been prepping my classroom. I haven't started classes yet, but I've been working really hard, diligently getting ready, like stuff that I never really thought about, like stuff that I took for granted when I was in band myself. Then the first main topic we're going to talk about today is like really the graphics debate in video games, because I feel like I have an interesting perspective on it, being more of a Nintendo fan than the other systems, but who knows. The next topic I'll talk about is my experience playing board games solo for the past week since I've been here alone. The special guest segment today is going to be finally the Mountain Dew segment with Patrick. He's going to be on later. I'm probably going to end up Frankensteining all the clips together, so if there's weird editing, I apologize. I haven't really thought through how I'm actually going to do this. We'll figure it out. And then the final topic is actually going to be me discussing my anxieties when it comes to walking around in a new neighborhood, since, well, I only ended up doing it once, but just kind of anxieties relating to being in a completely unfamiliar town and area and being completely alone. I'll be talking about that. But also, funny story, this is kind of relating to current event stuff, but I just realized, I remember there was one episode a while back where I apologized because I didn't have my regular mic on me, and I listened back to that episode and I was like, why does it sound the same as before? I just now realized that. And last episode, I think there was, or the episode before, I don't remember, there was a few moments where I tried to mute my mic, and it just didn't mute. When I was, coughing and sneezing. And I realized it's because, I don't know how long it's been like this, but in my Audacity, which I've been using to record, it has been just recording with my built-in speaker, or my built-in microphone anyways on my laptop. I've had my microphone plugged in and it's basically just been an accessory all this time until now. I don't know if the first few episodes were using it, and then when I unplugged it for that one, it just never switched back to using it, but now I got it fixed. Now it's working. I don't know if you'll notice a difference in the audio quality. Maybe audio volume will be a little different. We'll see. But I just thought it was kind of funny. I went in to look at I did the tap check where I tapped my mic and was like, why are the levels not moving? And then I tapped my computer screen, and sure enough, that made them move. So I was like, oh my gosh, I've been recording using the crappy microphone this entire time. I've been acting a fool. But yeah, the last week I've spent almost every day prepping my classroom. I took a bit of a break today, and really yesterday too, because I figure I probably shouldn't work too hard on a Saturday and Sunday, and I got more done than I thought I would. But Tuesday through Friday I spent a lot of time. Well, Tuesday was mainly a tour of the building, and then I got a little bit of time in. I had to meet with the choir director to discuss concert dates as well. But so that on Tuesday was cut a bit short. Or was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday, actually, now that I think about it. My days have been completely mixed up, because it's literally I'm living almost the same day every single day. It doesn't help that I eat the exact same meal for lunch every single day. It's a sandwich with grapes and a stack of Stax chips is what I have for lunch every single day, and it does not make it any easier to tell what day it is. But yeah, I've been spending a lot of time prepping stuff. I spent like 2 hours. I think it was the first. Yeah, it was the first day. It was Wednesday. I spent 2 hours organizing only one bin of pep band music. That was just a random assortment of stuff that I'm guessing might have been like found on the floor or like stuff like that. And I organized all of that, and it took me 2 hours. And there's literally like 3 more bins like that. I think I'm not gonna do that again because it just feels like a waste of time. Because it's like it's just copies of stuff we already have. It's not like I am searching for like a specific part. There's a couple of them where it's like we're low on trumpet 2 parts or something like random like that, but it's like I'll just give the rest of the people trumpet 3 and be like, all right, deal with it. But yeah, it's been a lot more work than I expected. I knew it was going to be a lot, but I like came in and I literally had to document 50 school instruments that don't belong to anyone. And the director before me, I don't think had a system for like inventorying instruments specifically, so I've been labeling them all too, like on the cases, labeling, like for example, like labeling the flutes F1, F2, F3, and then making a spreadsheet. I'm hyper organized, by the way, on like totally random things, but I made a spreadsheet of all the instruments, and when I assign them to students, I'll put the student that they're out to in that column, and then in the next column I have like a notes section where I write down like, oh, this trumpet has like really sticky valves, it can probably be fixed after it's used for a while, but I couldn't get it to be maneuvered. I do this way too frequently, but like there were a lot of trumpets that I'm guessing haven't been played in like maybe a year or two at least, so the valves were just like really crisp, and I pushed them down with like all my might, and then like as soon as it slipped, my finger got caught in between the valve itself and like where it goes into, and I got like I think it was mostly like internal bleeding, like my finger would like turn red, but nothing, like no blood would actually come out or anything like that. Maybe that's a little graphic, but it hurt, it was painful, but oh well, we got through it. And there was one trombone like that had a mouthpiece on it already that I'm guessing has been on that trombone for at least a year or two. Like I tried grabbing, like getting it off myself, like using a paper towel. I tried using a pliers, and I still couldn't pry it out. So that's a bit of an issue. But I went through and tested every instrument. The brass instruments were easy because I have mouthpieces for all of them personally, except French horns, but there was a French horn mouthpiece there. It's kind of sad. We have 4 horns available. There's a couple that students have, but there's 4 horns available and only 2 of them work. It's kind of annoying because those are the most expensive instruments too. Well, among the most expensive. At least all the tubas work. But yeah, it was a lot of work because I think it was like 60 to 70 instruments I had to document and like test every single one. I didn't like test them extremely thoroughly for the brass ones. I just put the mouthpiece on, worked my way down the harmonic series, like tested every valve combination on trombone, slid all the way down, slid all the way up to check if it worked. And then because I don't have like woodwind mouthpieces on me, I just kind of checked all the keys and made sure they moved as they should have, because there were some that didn't. But yeah, that was like the day that I did that the most. I think I spent like 4 hours doing just that, like going through instruments and testing them and labeling them and putting them in the spreadsheet. Another thing I also, like, I just keep adding on more and more to the list of stuff that I have to do before school starts. And I only have 1 more week, but I think I'll get everything done. And if I don't, I think the stuff that I'm missing, it wouldn't be a huge deal. I also had to organize everyone's pep band folders, and to be honest, not because I'm lazy, but just because it would feel like a waste of time to like completely reconstruct new pep band folders every single year. I just took the ones that they used last year and put like 3 or 4 new ones in there that I want to play this year, and that was it. I thought about like completely tearing them apart and only putting the ones that I knew I wanted to play in there, but I also didn't want to go through and listen to every single pep band song that they played last year and decide if I wanted it or not. So I just kept the old one from last year and put new music in. But even like I only added I think 4 or 5 songs, and it was still a freaking process because it's like I could have done more instruments at once probably, but by the end I was doing like 2 or 3 at once, and it still would take me like at least 5 to 10 minutes to find every part I needed, because I had to go through the folder because they aren't organized in score order. I think everyone, like when they filed them away, they just shove them in there instead of actually putting it in the actual order they should be in. So it's like I just have to flip through and pray that I find like a random tenor sax part in the middle of it or something like that. And it was tedious, and that was what took me, like, well, it didn't take me the longest. The instrument stuff took me longer, but I'm still not done with the pep band folders. I actually haven't been given, like, I know who's in my classes, but I don't know who plays what instrument, so I just kind of well, I don't have to guess anymore because I found the programs from last year and just kind of cross-referenced and wrote down this person plays this instrument, this person plays this instrument. So I have an idea now of who plays what instrument. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling a while on this, but I feel like maybe it's interesting information to have the background of everything that a high school band director has to do to prepare for classes. Because it is a lot. It's not like just you go up there, you wave your arms and tell kids their instruments out of tune. There's a lot more to it than that. Oh, what else was there? Oh yeah, well, relating to that, it's like when I originally was doing the pep band folders, I didn't know how many people I had for each instrument, so I just kind of was grabbing random ones and making the folders up, because I was like, well, as long as I get like, I have 39 kids in the class, as long as I have like 40 to 45, if anyone still needs the new music, I'm just going to leave it up front and they can go and look for it themselves, because that way of making it autonomous makes it way easier. And honestly, I probably could have done that in the first place. I could have just organized, well, it probably would have taken me the same amount of time, because what I could have done is organized all of the pep band music, like the 5 tunes that I wanted, put them all in score order, and had all the kids come up at the beginning of class and grab their own. But the organizing part probably would have taken me just as long as it has to pull out, like look for the random ones and throw them in the folders. That process, I think, took me 2 to 3 hours, and I only finished, I think, 25-ish folders, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly how many. I just wrote down that I need to make 10 more. But now that I know how many of every instrument I have, I don't have to guess anymore, so I'm a little more inclined to actually work with that. But yeah, it's still fun. I don't know what it is with me, but I like analyze the data and stuff like that. Like, I've already like written out my schedules for lessons and made sure that I am able to have every kid, because from 5th to high school, I'm probably gonna have around 200. Well, no, it'll probably be less than that, around 160, because I know how from 6th to high school, I think it's like somewhere in the realm of like 120. And then for 5th grade, I don't know who's, like, they haven't picked instruments. They haven't picked if they're doing band or choir or both yet. That's after the first couple of weeks. So I don't know what my numbers are going to look like for that yet. I have to figure that out the first week. But I wrote down like a lesson schedule so that I can try to at least have every kid in private lessons at least once in a while. Like, the way I did it is 5th and 6th graders are weekly, and then junior high and high school are once a quarter, because I feel like I shouldn't need to require a lot of lessons for the older kids because they've been playing for so long. But yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot, and I still have to print a lot of parts. For the beginning of the school year, the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna have each group sight read, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pieces, and that's kind of how I'll determine where they're at, because I have no idea what, like, skill level in reality. Like, I've heard them play, but I haven't seen them, like, rehearse. Like, I've only seen them play stuff they already know. I've never seen them, like, sight read or prep material. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited for school to start, but I'm also anxious. I think I'll be a lot less anxious, actually, when it does start. Which, by the time you're hearing this, it will have started, and maybe I'll actually have an update for you on how it went in a future episode. But it's just kind of a lot right now, and a lot to take in. It's like, for like almost all of the summer, I was just like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna be a teacher in 3 months. Oh well, whatever. That's cool. Yeah, whatever. And now it's like I'm actually actively doing stuff in my classroom, and I'm like, holy shit, I am actually a teacher. Like, I actually am doing this right now. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel quite real yet, but I'm hoping I am quick to adapt when classes start. I'm sure I will be. I'm looking forward to it. But anyways, enough about that. I've been talking about that at length, but this is probably going to actually be a really long episode, because I think Patrick and I are going to talk for a while about Mountain Dew later, but we'll see. But anyways, moving on to the whole graphics thing in video games. This kind of relates to a topic I talked about a few episodes ago, where I was like talking about how it felt like games were kind of slowing down and stuff like that. I just feel like, I know there will always be further to go, but I feel like we've almost reached the plateau point for like graphics in games. Like, there are some games it's hard to tell whether it's a like video game or like a live action movie, especially when you compare it to a live action movie like The Flash. But like, I know there's 8K resolution now, I think. I don't keep up that much with it, but it's like, especially with Xbox and PlayStation, because Xbox and PlayStation, I will say, in my opinion, don't, like, Nintendo's always been the innovator. They always at least try to do something different with their consoles, whereas Xbox and PlayStation, they just upgrade every generation, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like we're getting to almost a point where there will be nowhere to upgrade to. And it just feels like a very weird time in gaming, like almost reaching the point of like uncertainty to like how much longer it'll last. Like, obviously it's not gonna like go down anytime soon, but it's like, yeah, because sales are still high. Like, don't get me wrong, that people are still buying games. And again, like I said in the last like video game related segment like this, I might just be getting old, and it might just be because I don't have time to be playing video games all the time anymore like I used to. But I don't know, it's like, especially when I'm a person who way prefers stylized graphics over realistic graphics, because I will still say, even though we are reaching that plateau point, realistic graphics will age a lot worse than stylized graphics. Like, in my opinion, like Luigi's Mansion 3 Pikmin 4, even Wind Waker HD, some of the best looking video games out there. And those all have the cartoony, what some might call kidsy graphics, but it works really well in their case because I think they'll always stand the test of time. And honestly, like, Pikmin has always been a series that's like, it just has graphics that do stand the test of time. Like, Pikmin 2 is one of the best looking games on the GameCube, and I think it still holds up extremely well to this day. I guess the point that I'm getting at is, like, how far are we going to go before we reach the absolute maximum? And it's like, since we are starting to plateau, because it's like, was an obvious difference between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, along with PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and then going into PlayStation 4. And now, like, it's like the graph is slowly leveling off now that we're up into, like, PlayStation 5. Like, yes, I can notice a difference. I don't necessarily have the best eye when it comes to video games. Like, I honestly, maybe this is embarrassing to say, but I struggle to notice that much of a difference between 30 frames per second and 60 unless I do it back to back. Like, I really notice it when I'm, like, playing, for example, like, I'm playing Mario Kart 8 by myself, and then all of a sudden my family joins in. I can notice, because I'm pretty sure the way that game works is it runs at 60 frames per second if you're playing 1 or 2 player, but as soon as you add 3 and 4 players, it drops to 30. Like, then it's really noticeable for me, like in that situation where I'm seeing the same game back to back at different frame rates. But I can't, like, look at a game today and be like, oh, this game is running at only 30 frames per second, this sucks. Like, I don't necessarily have the technical eye that some people have, or maybe only claim to have. I don't know. I really don't think it makes that much of a difference. So maybe I'm not the best person to be talking about this, but I I really truly feel like once we step up to, like, the PlayStation 6 era, it's like, what are they gonna do then? Because it's gonna slowly level off, kind of almost like Madden has become, where it's like every Madden game is basically the same, just with updated rosters. Like, they claim they update the graphics, but it's so minimal that you don't even really notice. Like, obviously, between, like, Madden 10, which I have on the Wii, and the new games, you notice a massive difference. But, like, I don't know, since, like, 17 on Madden, I don't know why I'm sticking with this example for so long, but you know what I mean. It's like, it just feels like we're slowly leveling off to the point where it's like, is it really going to be worth it to buy another console? Especially when there's stuff like I think they advanced a little too fast because they had the PlayStation 4 Pro, which I think could play at 4K anyways. So, like, obviously the PlayStation 5 has higher processing power than the PlayStation 4 Pro, but at the same time, they're just putting their games on both anyways in a lot of cases. Not as much anymore now that we're a little deeper into the launch cycle, but it's like, it's been 3 years, and there are not that many exclusive games for PS4. I don't know, I feel like my argument's kind of losing focus now. I was hoping I'd have a little bit more to say about it, but really, all in all, it just... games that end up having realistic graphics and that go for maximum possible, like, realism, like, in the look, I just think look really bland now. Like, if you showed me 2, like, war/shooter games, I probably could not tell you that they were different games, like, in reality, because they have the same sort of look and feel to them graphically. And I just kind of miss when games had to be stylized, like including like PlayStation 2 and Xbox games. Like the games had to be stylized because the graphics couldn't really support the full realistic vibe that we have now. And that's why I think it's almost to Nintendo's benefit that they stay behind on the graphics curve. Like, it's like, I would like to have a game like Xenoblade 3 in a bit of like an upscaled resolution, or like Pokemon Legends Arceus too. Like those types of games, I wish they could be on like a future gen, like actual good hardware. Not that the Switch is bad hardware, but like compared to the PlayStation 5 it is. But at the same time, I just think it's a major benefit to Nintendo that they innovate and try to do something different with every console rather than just being a simple upgrade from the last one. That's why I kind of doubt the rumors of a Switch Pro. Like, sure, maybe they're going to make a Switch Pro, but Nintendo's always been one to do something new. And the one time that they didn't, it failed massively when they made the Wii U. Like, I just feel like if they made a Switch Pro, it would be another Wii U situation where maybe they'll get the marketing better this time, but people, when the Wii U came out, they thought it was just another Wii. This argument is losing focus so much. I wanted this to just be about graphics, and now I'm talking about just totally random, kind of semi-related stuff. Maybe this won't be a long episode. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap up that topic now and talk about my experiences with solo board gaming. But first I'm going to pause my recording and grab a glass of OJ. This is so sad. I only have enough orange juice for one more glass. But to be honest, again, my kind of like last topic, my experiences with solo board gaming right now are limited. I'm guessing this will develop as time goes on. Right now I'm still trying to balance, like you heard in the beginning of this episode, I have a lot I'm working on, so I haven't had that much time to play board games. But I did play Empires of the North a lot my first 2 days here because I had no internet. I didn't know what I needed to do for my classroom. I was just kind of here. And all I had to do really was unpack my stuff, which I did in 2 days anyways. So I was just kind of here doing nothing. So I played a lot of games of Empires of the North solo mode. And to be honest, I really enjoy it. Just not even to talk specifically about Empires of the North, but in general, when it comes to solo board gamings, I feel like when I play board games solo, I haven't done it that much. I did it a lot with Marvel Champions because it's way less to manage when I'm playing by myself than with someone else. And the game doesn't take nearly as long when you're alone. And that's kind of the case with everything. That's a big advantage to solo board gaming, is that it doesn't take nearly as long. You pretty much set up, you have a 30-minute game-ish, and then you tear down, and that's it. Or you can even leave it up, and then you just play it, come sit down, play a quick game, and then you're done. It's super nice. It kind of reminds me of Board Game Arena in that sense of being really making it really easy to use, ease of use type thing. But another thing, like I was mentioning before, is it allows me to really get a grasp on the rules. It seems like whenever I play a game with someone, it only ends up getting played once, maybe twice. What I used to do, because the people I play with like variety more than playing with my parents, if they wouldn't want to play the same game 2 nights in a row, whereas I would, because it usually seems like the second play is always the better one. The first play is always just trying to figure out what's going on. So in reality, most of my experiences with board games was really like multiple first plays of random games with my family, and then I never really got to give them another shot. Whereas now I didn't even realize how many games that I have that have a solo option. I think it's at least half of them. Like, I think I have like 20, 25-ish that have a solo option, which is super nice because I have to play by myself now. But like with Empires of the North, I scarcely remembered playing it. I played it once with my younger brother before, and I don't think we fully understood it. That was still pretty early on. It was one of the first board games that I got, so I still didn't really grasp like just general like board gaming rules, such as things like victory points and like the whole idea of the really engine building that you're doing in Empires of the North, where you are building your clan and all of the buildings give you different things at different times. And I didn't really understand how to use those abilities effectively. But I have played a really good amount of solo game. Like, I have beaten the first scenario with every character, and I don't think I've done the second scenario yet. I'm probably going to start cycling through that one next. But I've beaten the first like solo scenario, and you get 4. I've beaten the first solo scenario with every single character, and there's only one that I almost didn't meet the point threshold, and I still don't really know how to play that character. And funnily enough, it's the character that I played as when I played it with my brother. It's the girl with like all the animals or whatever. That one, I don't really understand how to play her well, and maybe it just, her card synergy didn't work out for that scenario. But like, part of what soured me on the experience of playing the game the first time was because I didn't like playing that character. And now that I've played all the others, I think she's probably my least favorite character in the game. I really like her design-wise because penguins are among my favorite animals. But sadly, she's not very fun to play, at least so far to my experience. But yeah, just playing the game solo by myself and getting repeated reps of it. Like, I would have time to play like 2 in a row where I could just deconstruct everything, grab cards for a different clan, and just start up again. And just the amount of repetition that I've gotten on it, I feel like now that I've played that so many times, obviously there's differences between the solo game and the base game. Like, the strategies would be much different, but in general I have a much better grasp of how to get points in that game, because it's one of those games where, well, pretty much any game, at the beginning, like the first round, you likely will not get like any points, and if you do, it'll be pretty minimal, like 1 or 2, and you really need to build stuff up the first round so that you can get points in rounds 2 and like 3, because when you're playing with other people, once someone hits 25 points, that's when it ends. And the way the solo game works is you're basically on a time limit, kind of, because you are limited to 4 rounds, and you have to get, like, each solo game has a certain point threshold. Like, I think the first solo map is like 35. You have to meet 30, or maybe it's 30. I think it's 35 actually, to like, quote, win it. And then you can compete for like high scores. Like, there was one character I scored over, well, actually 2 of the characters I scored over 50 and lapped the point board with them. But like, now I have a much better grasp of what you need to do to build up in order to get those higher point values, and like really chain off of different cards to get a lot of points in a row, that I didn't really understand when I played it the first time with my brother. And I feel like, for one, I'd be able to explain it a lot better, too. Like, I just have a really good grasp of the rules now to where I wouldn't even need the manual or the instructions. Because, like, reading instructions is, like, my least favorite part of, like, playing a board game. It, like, bogs it down so much, and the first playthrough is always just a slog. Like, there are quite a few board games that I have that I've never played. Some that are still in the plastic, actually, because I just don't like learning games. After the first play, it's usually just a matter of sometimes refreshing yourself on some of the rules, but like with solo, it makes it much less pressure because you aren't like trying to figure out, like, for me, I was almost always like sort of the moderator almost of all the board games, like being like, you can't do that, sorry to say, or you should probably take this action because that's probably the best for what you have right now. So it's like whenever I would play board games with people, it would be like me monitoring everything. So learning games, I was basically learning 4 different characters, 4 different play styles at one time, which was always kind of annoying. But that's not the case for like playing with everyone or for every game. But even like Marvel Champions as well, it took me like 3 or 4, like the first time I played it, I hated it because I really didn't understand the rules. And then I gave it more and more chances, and now I haven't played it in a while actually, but I really like it. It's one of my favorite games as well. But I never would have come to the understanding that I have now of the rules if I hadn't played by myself. And now I also have a better gauge of how every character plays, at least the ones that I have. There are some that I haven't even opened yet, but I have a better gauge of how every character plays, so I can like recommend someone new like a certain character and be like, this is pretty much what you have to do to be successful as this character, and these are the cards you're looking for. Like, I can easily rattle that off for them, which makes a first playthrough, like teaching someone else, go a lot smoother. But I guess that's kind of where I'm at with the whole solo board gaming thing. It's been a fun experience though so far. Like, I really do enjoy it more than I thought I would. Like, I had read that sometimes the solo modes are kind of like an add-on where it's like basically a bogged down or a dumbed down version of like playing the game with other people, where it's like it tries to incorporate an AI but it doesn't necessarily work the best. But there are some games that have like really developed like quote AI computer players, and then others like Empires of the North, which are kind of cool, where in that it like has scenarios that you wouldn't normally play through in the regular game, and you have to hit a certain, like, it's like a score attack mode almost, where you have to hit a certain threshold playing by yourself in order to win, I guess. I think what I'm actually going to do here is hopefully I don't lose the data, but I'm going to hit pause here. And if there's an awkward cut, it's because I'm bringing Patrick on as soon as he's available to talk Mountain Dew. But I will be, well, for you, I'll be back in like a second, but there might be an awkward cut here. Okay, I hit the record button. So, do you just want to go down the list and like rank them out of like 10 or something? Or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, we could do that. What if like I haven't had it, it's just I think it would be good, or I wouldn't try it?
We can discuss it. I don't have all of them on my list. I only have the ones I've had and the ones that sounded interesting.
Okay.
And the ones that I'm pretty sure you've had but I haven't, like Flamin' Hot you've had but I haven't had.
Yeah.
But starting with the original, I don't think it's that good, to be honest.
I mean, it's a refreshing drink on, say, like a hot day when it's like you crave like something cold and you have a cold Mountain Dew. Like it's like a regular Coke. You're gonna drink it when you crave it. Like it's all right. I mean, I definitely would rate it like a 6 maybe. Like,
Yeah, I was
if it's
thinking
the
around
only
6 or
option, I'd
7.
be drinking it. So,
Because, like, with all the other flavors, I would much rather have, like, something that is flavored than OG Mountain Dew. Or I'd honestly rather have a Mellow Yellow than a regular Mountain Dew.
I literally cannot handle Mellow Yellow, and I don't know why. It tastes like battery acid. Maybe that's too much slander for Mellow Yellow, but like it's just straight sort of battery acid. Like
I think it's peach Mellow Yellow is my go-to whenever I go to Noodles and Company because they have the all
Yeah,
flavors.
I'm like, they have a peach? No. That's just like the specialty Coke machine.
Yeah, where they pour
Those are
whatever
lit.
flavor mix into your Mellow Yellow.
Yeah.
I then listed Throwback as a separate flavor because I think it's better than the regular. Throwbacks.
I mean, anything.
I think it's called Real Sugar now, but
Yeah. I mean, that one's just good because, high fructose, I think, corn syrup, it sort of does taste bad when you drink it for, like, so long. But then, like, real sugar tastes so good, so.
there is a noticeable difference. So I would say the Real Sugar is probably like an 8. Like, it's not that much better, but it is definitely better.
I would give it a 7. I don't think the real sugar taste, like, sort of enhances it enough to quite be an 8, but it's definitely a better choice if that's available. So.
Yes. Next is Baja Blast, which I think is probably my favorite. Well, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, Baja Blast has been a classic for, how many years. I remember having the first one in, like, 2010 almost, and it was, like, way long ago. And it's, like, ooh, just tingles on your tongue. But, like, that was when it was, like, the novelty of going to Taco Bell, getting a Baja Blast, and then, like, eating your tacos and your Baja Blast. It's almost a pairing. And now because it's so available, it's almost like, oh, I didn't chill my can of Baja Blast, but I want Baja Blast, and it's warm. And I'm like, it's not very good warm.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely better out of the fountain than
Right.
the can. I hadn't had Taco Bell until like 2020, so
You're kidding.
no,
No, you lying.
No,
No way.
that was my first experience with Taco Bell. Because I never liked tacos, so I was like, why would I go to Taco Bell until 2020? And my first experience with Baja Blast was when they had, like, the whatever, like, I don't remember what the actual term was for it, but when they had the face-off between Baja Blast and Pitch Black, that was my first experience with Baja Blast, was actually with the can. But yeah, now that you mention it, because it is so readily available, I think I would give it a 9 out of 10.
I would give it an 8 just because, like, I mean, it's good, but, like, I don't know. It's like whenever I go to Taco Bell now, it's either, the soda machine's broken. It's like, it tastes like, syrup and sparkling water, Like, I've had that experience, and it sort of did ruin it a little. But, like, I mean, you bring up Pandemonium, I think it was called. It was like the Mountain Dew fan deal, whatever it was, competition thing, and like it's good. Like, it was good then. I mean, it's still pretty good, just like not as good.
Yeah, it's
as
not.
I think other flavors are.
I would say it's not that different from the original either. Like, it definitely has the lime hint, but I would say it's definitely, like, the lime flavor isn't as apparent as other flavors of Mountain. Like, it's not as apparent that it's different, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just kind of regular Mountain Dew with a tang to it, really.
I mean, it's like McDonald's Sprite, though, and it's, you know, it's just Sprite with some added stuff in it.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's good. That good? Maybe.
Next on the list is Code Red, which I always drink it expecting a little bit more from the cherry flavor. It's always like a little more, like just slightly more subtle than I expect it to be. And I don't like it that much. I would say it's probably a 7 for me, personally.
I would give it like a 9 out of 10 just because it holds a memory of like summer camp and you get a can of Code Red and my parents didn't let me have Mountain Dew when I was a child. So I'm like, ooh, a 10-cent can of Code Red Mountain Dew is ice cold. It was so good. I mean, it was just really good. I would give it the 9. I'd give it a 9, maybe a 9.1 out of 10, you know. Just because the memory it holds. Other than that, I mean, the flavor's not terrible. I wish, yeah, you do bring up it. I wish it was revamped, like sort of like more cherry or just.
Yeah, I just wish the cherry was a little stronger, like just slightly stronger than it is.
Yeah.
Next on the list, I have Livewire, which I don't know why I put it on because I think I've only had it once and I barely remember it.
Which one was that?
I think it's. Is it Mango? You're the one who you had the Wikipedia page pulled up.
Me too.
Maybe it's not Mango. Because.
Oh, that was the orange.
Oh, it's orange.
I think I've had that, and then I just could not finish it because I don't like orange personally. Like.
Yeah, I don't know if.
It was like just orange soda, like, you know.
Yeah, I haven't had it recently enough to really put a number to it specifically. I couldn't pinpoint what it exactly tastes like.
I would have it again, though. I mean, like, personally, like, you know, I'll have it again. I'll have to try it. Getting gas or something.
Next is Voltage, which is my favorite Mountain Dew, and I think it's a 10 out of 10.
What flavor is that?
It's like blue raspberry. It's
too good. It's too good.
Blue.
10 out of 10. I agree.
And it's even better. I think the only place I've ever seen it come out of a fountain is at at our college campus in the dining hall. That's the only place I've ever seen it be at a fountain, and it was like exponentially, like, it was the best thing I've ever tasted.
It's good. It's that like purpley blue raspberry vibe going with it, and it is. I think it's almost exactly like Pitch Black, is it? I think
Pitch Black is more forward with its grape flavor, I think, than Voltage. Next,
there's definitely some good notes, you know, in Wolfish. Got some good body, good notes.
Yeah, that one I would say, like, of all of the ones we've ranked so far, I think it is the most, like, pronounced in its flavor, like, as being different than regular Mountain Dew. Whereas it's like Code Red, it definitely tastes like Mountain Dew with an added cherry flavor.
Yeah. More cohesive, I guess. It's like that because I'm reading the flavor notes and it's like blue raspberry citrus, and I think the citrus sort of improves that blue raspberry, you know. So.
Next is going to be hard to rank, but I figured we could at least discuss it. But I have Voodoo down, which it's different every year, and I think I've only had it once. And it's like kind of a novelty drink. It's not that good, I would say. But like I said, I've only had it once. I don't know if the other flavors that they've had in the past were better or worse. I think the year I had it was when it was cotton candy or something. But I would give it like a 5. It's something that like you would buy one case of maybe for Halloween, or like one bottle and drink it for the novelty of it being the mystery flavor of the year, and then never return to it again.
Right. I'm trying to remember if I think I had it in 2021. It was like almost like a fruit punch, sour, whatever. It was okay. I'd give it like maybe like a 4.5 out of 10. Like, it's okay. Definitely the more seasonal vibe. You know, you only get it during Halloween, you know. You're going to drink it during Halloween, and then November hits, and you're like, I'm done with it until next year. It's like pumpkin spice, you know. You get it once, and you're done.
Well, the Voodoo always seems to last a while on the shelves after October because no one buys it.
I know. It doesn't seem that popular. I mean, it's okay. I wish they did more with it, like what they were doing with Pitch Black at Beat-Ups, or like what the Hard Mountain Dew is. You know, what if they did that? They would sell it a lot more. They could drink out of it.
I remember thinking
Taco Bell,
I remember thinking there was like 2 or 3 different flavors every year, and that they like totally just randomized it and threw random ones together. I think that would maybe help if there was more than one flavor, but that also might be a nightmare to produce.
Yeah, do like the Bean Boozled challenge. But it's not good. That'd be fun.
If they had actually like bad flavors, like manure.
Better like cilantro or something.
Yeah. Next is Major Melon, which I think is Major Mid, in my opinion. It is really pronounced in its like watermelon flavor, but I don't think watermelon tastes that good in like a pop form, in my opinion. So I would give it like probably again like a 5.5. Like, it's better. I'd rather have it than Voodoo, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy it.
Right. It sort of gives the vibe of like watermelon candy. You know how watermelon candy tastes almost nothing. Like, there's like a hint of watermelon, and it's just sugar, and that's sort of the vibe. I would give it like a 3. It's not my favorite flavor in the world. I'm not a watermelon person. I don't really like to eat watermelon any time of the year, so.
The next one on the list is Spark, which I've only had once as well, but it's more, I remember it a lot better than the other one, the Livewire. It was that one time that we got it for free at the CSU, and it was okay, but I don't think it's even as good as Major Melon. I just thought it tasted like weird. Like, it has like a really sour, like it has a really pronounced sourness to it, and I would probably give it like a 3. I don't think I would ever drink it again.
I don't think I've had that flavor yet, but I'll definitely have to give it a try. If it's sour, I mean, sour and Mountain Dew go well together, so I'd have to definitely try that sometime.
I think it's raspberry lemonade flavored or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
The next one I wrote down, I don't know if you've ever seen this flavor before, but I hadn't, so I just wrote it down because it was interesting. Goji Citrus Strawberry.
They have that at the Quick Trip. It's really interesting, but it's really good. You just get a lot of strawberry and a lot of citrus, and the goji berry sort of sits around. It is pretty good. I had it a few times this summer just to try it, and I'm like, ooh, like it's just a strawberry Mountain Dew essentially with some like added, stuff in it. It's not bad. I would definitely give it like a 7, maybe an 8, maybe rising to the 8 because I didn't hate it. So I'm getting like a 64-ounce cup, if you crave that. But I think I only got the 32-ounce, but it was pretty good.
Is that out of the fountain?
Yes. So
Okay.
It's better at the fountain.
Then next, I think you said you've had the Sam's Club exclusive Berry Monsoon, or have you not?
I don't remember if I have. I'll be completely honest.
Okay. Because I haven't either, so we can maybe move on from that one.
I mean, it says berry lime, so I don't think I've had any berry lime Mountain Dew yet. But I'll have to try it.
Next is Sweet Lightning, the KFC exclusive flavor, which it's interesting. You had mentioned you had read like something where it's like chemically engineered to taste better with KFC, and I could honestly see that because when I have it with KFC, it's legitimately like probably an 8 or 9 out of 10. And then without, it almost has like a really weird aftertaste to it, and it drops it to about like a 6.
That's so interesting. Like, but it would make sense. I mean, like, engineer something and taste better with your food.
Yeah, like I specifically remember the last time I had KFC, I got it, and I drank it, and like I said, it has like a weird tangy sort of aftertaste, and then when I started eating my KFC, the aftertaste went away. Like it like combined with the flavor of the KFC. So I don't know.
What are you eating for KFC? What do you pair it with?
What?
What do you get from KFC with it? Maybe that has something to do with it. Was it the chicken or the biscuit?
It was chicken tenders.
Do you think it'll taste different with the biscuit? And maybe it is something in the racking with the chicken and the soda in the mouth? I don't know.
Yeah, it would be interesting to try with like some of their sides as well.
Yeah, like mashed potatoes or like mac and cheese. Like maybe it's just the chicken that it tastes good with. Like I smell a conspiracy.
Have you not had Sweet Lightning before?
I have not had KFC in like 10 years. To be completely honest. So, maybe the next time I crave chicken, I won't go to Slim Chicken. I'll go to KFC. But I don't know. I never crave KFC whenever I get chicken. So.
Okay, next on the list is the one I'm drinking right now that you have not had. Maui Burst, the Dollar General exclusive. When I read there was a Dollar General exclusive, I decided to go and buy one today and try it for the first time. And honestly, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. I'm not a huge fan of pineapple-flavored soda, but it's like, I can scarcely tell the difference between this and Pineapple Fanta. It's basically tastes almost identical. So the pineapple flavor is really quite pronounced, like above the regular Mountain Dew flavor. And I don't know, I like it quite a bit. I'm just drinking it plain. I have the feeling it would probably go well with some sort of meal. I don't know.
Did you try the Mountain Dew Gold when that was out?
I did not.
Okay, so that was like straight pineapple. It wasn't bad. It was just weird to have, like, I didn't have pineapple Fanta, so I can't relate that taste to you, but it was just, I'm assuming it's almost the same flavor.
It probably is.
Oh, are you on the wiki page right now? I guess there's a conspiracy theory that sort of attempted to link Maui Burst flavor with the Maui wildfires, which is completely insane because they had a direct energy weapon, a dew, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I read that on there.
crazy.
Have you had Frostbite?
Yes.
I have had it once, and it was on accident. I didn't even know it was a Walmart exclusive flavor. Like, it makes so much sense now because that's the only place I've ever seen it. But I didn't put two and two together until I looked at the wiki page. But I had it once because I saw blue and assumed it was Voltage, and I drank it on my break and was disappointed. But I don't really remember the flavor that well.
They had Frostbite 2 years ago, and I didn't hate it because it's like that melon, like almost cantaloupe flavor, which I enjoy more than watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give it like a 5. Like it's okay.
I'm assuming you have not had the Atomic Blue Sheets flavor.
It says it's exclusive at Come and Go, but no. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm literally thinking so hard. I don't think so, but I was definitely because it was released in 2020. I was definitely near a Come and Go or like a Sheets during 2020. I'm just surprised I didn't have it then. I would try it. I mean, it would take a lot of planning because I think the closest one is 5 hours away. But I would try it. I mean, it doesn't sound terrible. It says it's like a lemonade flavor, so I mean, lemon and Mountain Dew go really well together, so it would be pretty good.
Yeah, and then there's the Southern Shock Bojangles exclusive. And then
Never seen a Bojangles.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I have never seen one ever. And then the Doogarita from Red Lobster, which I think, if I remember right, only ran for like 2 or 3 years maybe or something like that. It was only up to like 2020 or something around there.
Yeah.
Then just Vibe from Witch. Thrashed Apple, which you still have forgotten to get your hands on.
I've heard it tastes like a green apple flavored Jolly Rancher, but that's all I know.
Uproar from Food Lion, and then finally one that we've actually had, at least I think you've had, the Dark Berry Bash from Applebee's. I don't.
What's the voltage? Like,
yeah, I don't have much to say about this one.
That and Voltage, and it's almost the same thing. It's just a little better.
Yeah, some of these restaurant exclusives are very similar to some of the ones that you have on the shelf, but you can't compare them because it's not like I'm gonna bring a Voltage into Applebee's and do the side by side.
Right. So you can get maybe take their drink. No, you can get like DoorDash, maybe, and DoorDash Dark Berry Dash.
Pour it in your fanny pack.
Too much time.
I would probably give it like an 8 from what I remember. It was pretty good.
I would also give it an 8. It was pretty good. I mean, I think part of it pairs well with their food, which might be a conspiracy, but it might be true. Like, it pairs really well with like anything you need from Applebee's. So
then we have the Mountain Dew Legend from B-Dubs, which in my opinion is a worse version of Pitch Black. I don't think it's as good as Pitch Black. I would give it a 7.
A 7? I would give it... So I had just regular Legends, as is, cup with ice. And it was a solid, 9. I would give it a solid 9. So I think they discontinued Pitch Black, so it's like, where else are you going to get those flavors? And it's pretty good. But then I had the legendary Long Island, and I don't remember the rest of that night. So I'd probably give it a 10. Like, it did its job. It lended its sweetness. You know, it covered up the flavors of the alcohol they put in it. Really good. Probably a good solid 10. Like, it was pretty good. Interesting, too. So.
Yeah, then there's Purple Thunder, which is exclusive to Circle K. Have you had any experience with Purple Thunder?
No, I have not.
Then it's Overdrive, which I had for the first time actually right before I moved, like the day before. So it was like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I was not terribly impressed. I don't think I would go out of my way to get it again. I would give it probably like a 5. Like, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't that spectacular.
I had that on a long drive, and it was... Yeah, it was okay. That was the same drive I had the Mountain Dew Gold on. And after drinking the Mountain Dew Gold, it's definitely better. So I'd give it like maybe like a 6. Like, it's pretty good. Like, not too great, but not terrible. I mean, it's definitely citrus and Mountain Dew, of course, pair well together. Then you sort of have like mango, raspberry, and lime just chilling in your mouth. It is a really strange flavor combination to add those 3 things in. But it is an interesting soda, so it is pretty good. Probably like just a 6, so.
Yeah, now we're to the discontinued section of the list. Pitch Black, which I really like personally. Back when I first had Baja Blast and Pitch Black, I actually liked Pitch Black more than Baja Blast. I don't feel that way anymore. But I would give Pitch Black a solid 8.5. I do really like it, and I'm sad that it's gone.
I would give it an 8 just because Legend exists, and I like Legend a little more, but it definitely is pretty good, and it's good that it was retail, so you can just buy it wherever. That was the good part of it.
Yeah. So. Then we have, well, one holiday, like old holiday exclusive, the Dew SA, which is basically just the concoction of Voltage, Code Red, and Whiteout, which I really liked from what I remember. I think it's been a while since they had that, because they didn't have it this summer. I don't remember if they had it last summer or if it's been a while, but from what I remember, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah.
It was pretty good. I'd go 8 out of 10 too. It's a good drink.
Then, did you say you've had Whiteout? Or have not?
Let me remember. I think I have. It would have been like years and years ago. I don't quite remember the flavor, but I know I've had like a white Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I don't remember throwing it up, so that says something, right?
It's not a 1.
Not a 1. I don't remember. I wish I'd probably give it like a 4, just because I don't remember. But I didn't directly imprint the hateful memory on my mind that never buy this again. So maybe a 4, just because I might buy it again.
Continuing with a flavor that you've had but I haven't, Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew.
Oh my god, don't get me started. I'm gonna relate this with a story. There was one time that I was really crazy going through my cracked out, insane baking days where I was like, I'm gonna make spicy cupcakes with a mango habanero, lime curd, and a jalapeno like frosting. And it tastes exactly like a jalapeno frosting, which is weird. It's like almost tinny, It's not hot sauce and Mountain Dew. It's a solid one. It's just not great. Like, it's weird that it's spicy, not crazy spicy, but it just doesn't have flavor. It's just spicy for what? I think it didn't even. Obviously it's not gonna taste like cheese, but like it just was not. It was flaming hot, but it doesn't taste like the stuff they get with the Cheetos or like.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting. It was like almost like you leave your Takis out too long. And then like soak them in water and you drink the water. Like it didn't have any flavor. It was just spicy. It just wasn't good. It just was. I would not buy it again. I think I bought one and like that's it. No more. It was not great.
I just think the idea of a spicy drink is extremely weird because it's like normally when you're trying to cool off your mouth, you're eating hot food, you take a drink to cool it down. It's like, what am I gonna do? Drink this Mountain Dew with a bottle of water too?
I wonder if it were still existing, you make like a margarita out of it with like real jalapeno. Maybe that would help its case, but it's just not. It's just not good.
I could see it being a decent mixer, maybe, but I don't know. I've never had it, so I can't say that much on it.
Yeah.
The next one is gingerbread, which I really did not like. I could not finish the bottle that I got, and I got it for free on my break at Walmart one time. It kind of like how you said, it's like dipping, the Flamin' Hot was like dipping a Taki in water and letting it soak. I think the gingerbread Mountain Dew is like leaving a gingerbread cookie in water like overnight, taking the cookie out and then drinking the water. Like it's like, it just feels like, it just tastes like you dissolved a gingerbread man in your Mountain Dew, and I think it tastes kind of disgusting. I would rate it at a 1, to be honest.
I would give it a solid. I would give it a 7.5. I would drink it again. It was almost like a mix between a ginger beer and ginger ale with like cinnamon, which sounds weird in a drink, but I crazy enough really enjoyed it. It wasn't terrible. It was pretty good. It was just pretty good.
Then
have you had ginger beer before?
I have had ginger beer before, and I am not a huge fan of it, so maybe that's why I didn't like it either. Yeah. So, but next on the list is Fruit Quake, which I liked quite a bit. I liked it more than I thought I would. I wasn't going to try it, and then the opportunity presented itself, so I ended up drinking it, and I would honestly give it probably a solid 7 out of 10. It was good, and I would drink it again if they brought it back.
Would you? I'm trying to remember that one because that was last year that they had it.
The color was really not very appealing. It was like it looked like brown-ish.
Yeah, it was like almost like fruit punch.
Yeah.
Vibes to it. It was. I would give it an 8. I would also drink it again.
Then the last one on my list, I think there are a few that you maybe have had that I haven't, that I didn't put on here, but is the Merry Mashup, which is the cranberry flavored holiday Mountain Dew that was like a 2019 and 2018, I think, exclusive. And it was amazing, and I wish they would bring it back. From what I remember, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think I drank multiple bottles of that year. It was their best, I would say probably their best holiday exclusive flavor in general across all the holidays.
Yeah, I don't think I've had that one. I think I was too crazed with the Sprite cranberry recipe change to notice any other soda. That's all I was doing, just Sprite cranberry, Sprite cranberry, Sprite cranberry, like day in, day out. So, yeah, I mean, cranberry and soda, crazy, is so good. And I hate cranberry, like, as is.
And from what I remember, the cranberry flavor was pretty strong in the... Like, it wasn't like a hint of cranberry. It, like, was cranberry.
Yeah.
Did you have either of the summer Baja Blast things?
I have the Caribbean Smash. And, yeah, I mean, it was just Baja Blast with stuff added to it. You can't go wrong there. I think, it's like the guava flavored, and it was sort of tropical, and I mean, it was good. Would I get it again? Probably not, just because, like, I just don't feel it was, like, too good. Probably, like, a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I mean, you buy a whole case, and you sort of get bored with it. That's all they had it in.
Yeah, that was why I never tried any of those, was because you had to commit to buying the 12-pack.
Yeah. I wish they released that in bottles so I can try the other ones without paying like $6 for what? It was like 10 or something for the 12, and it was okay. So.
Were there any other that I didn't mention that you can think of that you have had?
I've had we were talking about the Baja Gold earlier, the pineapple one. It's sort of like the super yellow, looks like it would come out of your body. It wasn't bad. It was just pineapple and Mountain Dew. And then the mango jam, which I don't remember if that was, I had that. I know I've had that, and it was just mango, like artificial mango, just throughout, and it was okay. Like the gold, I would rate like a 4, and the mango jam would be like a 3. Not as good as the gold, but definitely not too great. Would I get them again? Probably not. But they were okay. Definitely worth it to try it, just to discover like ooh, wow, that's way too much mango or too much pineapple flavor for a soda. So that's probably why they discontinued them. It was just, they weren't as popular. They were like mad, just, you drink it, like you see it and you're like, I can smell the pineapple coming out of the cooler right now. You see the mango and it's just this bright, like dark orange, like that, the call your doctor orange that comes out of you. And, you can just smell it once you open it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Was the mango one readily available, like, everywhere, or was it exclusive somewhere?
It may have been Casey's exclusive. I don't remember where I bought it. I know the Baja Gold I got at a Quick Trip. So.
Okay. Because I was trying to remember if that and Overdrive were out at the same time. But I'm not sure.
Maybe. Possibly.
Because I know there was 2 like orange Mountain Dews that I confused with each other. It might have been Livewire and Overdrive though too, but yeah. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna rank Kickstart flavors, but one thing that I have to say is I really wish they would bring the watermelon flavor back. I never saw it in a store, but they sold it at my school's snack bar, and it to this day is my favorite Kickstart flavor. And I wish they would bring it back.
Was that the one with coconut water in it?
Yes, yeah, it was.
I wish they would bring those back just because it was so good. Like, I literally was drinking that and I'm like, I should drink coconut water, like, normally. And then I get a whole thing of coconut water. I'm like, this stuff does not taste great. and then you sort of mix it. Like, that was my, pre-swim meet pre-workout deal. You know, it was
Yeah, I used to drink
one of those.
like because they used to sell it at the snack bar at school, so I would buy one before cross country, and that was what I would have before cross country, and sometimes I would bring one to meets too and drink it before my race.
They were good. I wish they would bring it back, but they won't.
I was kind of surprised when I looked at the wiki page how many discontinued Kickstart flavors there were, because I didn't remember there being that many.
I think, which one was the first Kickstart? It was the orange citrus, and then I've had the fruit punch. When they first released that, I was like, what, 12? It was so good. It was so good. I would stay up all night because I drank one of those. I was a crazy little 12-year-old. That and the black cherry were fire. I didn't try the limeade, though. I wish I did. They're so good. But I think they changed the recipe because I tried one like last year. I got the fruit punch and I'm like, this does not taste the same. So
Yeah, the only ones that I can drink anymore without feeling like absolutely disgusting is orange and grape. I can't drink any other flavors. Well, the new strawberry lemonade one isn't bad either.
Is that more strawberry or more lemonade?
Probably a little more lemonade than strawberry, in my opinion. From what I remember. I haven't had it in a while. Like, it's been a month, maybe.
Yeah, such a long time. It looks like they had an original flavored, which would be interesting. It's almost like they did like a Mountain Dew extra caffeine, like in like the early 2000s. And discontinued that, and then they did the Kickstart original, which would sort of be lame, but maybe it was good. I don't remember.
Yeah, now they have that. Is it Game Fuel or something? That's another energy, or it's just Mountain Dew Energy. That's like another energy drink that they make, which I've never had any of those.
I'm looking through the flavors now. I want to say I've had one, but no, I don't think so. I don't think I've had one yet, you know. I've had the Mountain Dew Energy, because it's, Game Fuel and then Mountain Dew Energy, because Kickstart wasn't enough. I think I've had one of these. No, I have not, but...
Do the Mountain Dew Energies just have more caffeine or something?
Maybe.
Because from what I can tell, Kickstarts don't have like that much. Like, I just feel awake. I feel less jittery from a Kickstart than I do from like having a cup of coffee. So.
Because Kickstart, I think, don't quote me on this, it has like 80 to 90 milligrams, so not too far off from like a usual casual Mountain Dew. But the reason why you're so energized is because they enrich it with vitamins. I think it's like C, maybe vitamin B and E, and it's supposed to like help you in the morning, almost like a coffee substitute. But
do they still have the pineapple one, or is that discontinued too?
For Kickstart?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pineapple orange mango.
Yeah, isn't that one of the ones that was infused with coconut water?
The wiki's saying yes, but whenever I see one, it does not say it has coconut water, or else I'm just, blind when I look at it.
Maybe they changed it, because I know for a fact it used to, because it was those two options at my high school at the snack bar.
Yeah.
Well,
they gave us Red Bull at the snack bar, so we didn't have those luxuries. Mountain Dew.
It was a big deal when they brought the Mountain Dew into our snack bar, because I was kind of surprised they did it, because they did an overhaul. I think it was when I was in 8th grade where they took everything away. They used to have a coffee bar and everything.
Nice.
But it was kind of annoying because we only got 20 minutes for lunch, so you would get a coffee and you'd literally have to burn your tongue to finish it in time.
You couldn't take it with you?
No, we weren't allowed to take it into the academic wings.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That makes sense, though. That makes sense. So, yeah.
Well, I think we've about exhausted this topic. It's been 45 minutes, so I will...
A hard Mountain Dew, what do you mean?
They should just make every flavor of Mountain Dew have a hard variant.
I think, from looking at the list, they tried with some of them, but only like the new ones. So they have the regular, they have a black cherry watermelon, then the Baja Blast live wire. Then they did all the Baja Blast variants with the pineapple, the punch, and the mango. I've only had the first 4, and, you know, they're okay.
They should have the hard Baja Blast in the fountain at Taco Bell, so you can just keep getting more.
Those at like the Taco Bell cantinas in like Vegas, but outside of that, I don't know where the nearest one is. We'll look that up. Taco Bell Cantina. Take a trip.
Yeah, that'll be the final destination on the road trip.
Oh, for sure. Just Taco Bell Cantina. I'm on the Living Moss website. I'm truly Living Moss. That is a good Taco Bell. Oh, almost clicked on it. There's one in Chicago.
Oh, you can do that after the parade.
Yeah. There's also one in Madison, Wisconsin. That's the closest one. Oh, Kansas City? Nah, that's pretty far. Other than that, like, Texas, a ton in California. Whoa, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 in New York City. Not New York State. New York City with like 3, 4 on Long Island and like a ton. I think that's Manhattan. I don't know my boroughs very well. Yeah, Manhattan. There's just a ton in Manhattan. That's insane. Oh, they've got more in Chicago. They've got like 11, 12. Dang. We'll make it our biz ticket. I'll go to all of them. I'll just go to one.
Yeah, and you can just tell Thursby you're going to Taco Bell and not explain further.
Just going to Taco Bell. I don't know if they're planning any near here. I wish there was one in the cities. There's one, like, literally in Montana. Like, Montana gets one, but, you know, Minnesota does not, I guess. So
They should put one up in the Mall of America.
That would be a good option, because they have a Margaritaville, the Rainforest Cafe, you know, like, just add in a Taco Bell Cantina. I don't think, is there a Taco Bell in the mall? I don't remember.
I don't know. I always go for the sit-down places when I go there, not the fast food stuff.
Oh, I only go to the Chick-fil-A. I'm kidding. I go to, like, I think I've been to the Shake Shack, the Bubba Gump. That's about it, actually. But, I mean, that would be worthwhile. I gotta plan that. I'm gonna send out a few texts right now. Go to the Taco Bell Cantina. That's worth it.
That's how you'll celebrate your Thanksgiving, with tacos.
I hope they're open. I hope they're open.
Oh yeah, that's right. True.
Yeah.
I am going to stop the recording now, so you're aware.
Okay.
Okay. I hope you all enjoyed that little segment with Patrick on it. Sorry, it took me a second. I thought I wasn't recording for a second there because I'm not used to being this far zoomed out on my Audacity. But yeah, it was a fun segment. Hopefully I can have him on again. He brought up ranking Sprite flavors, or we can talk about marching bands, stuff like that. It was fun. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't take as long on the other segments because it ended up being we talked about at length about Mountain Dew for quite a while. But just for this last segment, I'll keep it pretty brief, but just talk about like anxieties of moving into a new neighborhood. Like I think it was either it was my first day here completely alone. Like I moved in on a Saturday, and then Sunday my parents were here for half the day and then went home. I think it was Sunday after my parents left that sort of like it was around 6 o'clock or something. Oh, sorry. So it wasn't like dark out yet or anything, but I went for a walk and I just felt completely on edge and unnerved. Like it's not like it's like a dangerous neighborhood or anything, but just like not knowing where anything is or not really being able to place any landmarks to know where I'm at is really unnerving. Like just having no idea where I'm going or where I should be walking or stuff like that. And the other thing is I notice a lot of people here have dogs, and a lot of people just leave them out in the back like chained up. And like pretty much almost every single house I'd walk by, I'd have a dog like barking at me. It was not exactly a peaceful walk by any means. I don't know. I just haven't had that much time lately, so maybe I'll have to do it again. I've been getting more comfortable as the days have gone on. I think it's just the idea of being here completely alone is a little anxiety-inducing. I had mentioned, I think it was on the update video when I had moved, I have been having a hard time sleeping just because I can't shut my bedroom door, and my bedroom door goes right into the entrance. Like, I can see the door where you walk into my apartment from where I sleep, and something about that is just really unnerving to me. And, like, the fact that now that I'm, like, completely alone, it feels like every time I hear any minor sort of noise, I have to, like, get up and investigate, because it's like, who knows what it could have been when I should be in my apartment by myself alone. Like, before, it was like, I had a couple of roommates, so it was like, if I heard a door open or something like that, I just assume, oh, it's them, so I don't have to be concerned or anything. I can just lay down. And at that apartment, my bedroom was the farthest from, like, the entrance door. Not that I really think I'm in danger of, like, being broken into or anything. It's just, like, being in such an unfamiliar area is really kind of unnerving to me. And being, again, like, the combination of being completely, like, in the unknown here and being completely alone. I've been getting more used to it, like I said. Like, I can fall asleep a lot easier than I could the first couple nights, for sure. Like, the first couple nights I was pretty honestly paranoid the entire night and had a hard time falling asleep because of it, but now I at least can sleep decently without worrying about that sort of thing. Which, obviously, is nice when I have to get up at, like, 6:30 in the morning eventually when I'm gonna start teaching. But yeah, it's just, this is my first time ever moving to a completely new area that's totally unfamiliar to me. When I moved to college, it was a town that I was at least familiar with because it's like 30-40 minutes away from my hometown. And actually, like, I grew up also in a different town. Like, it's hard to explain without giving exact, like, towns. Like, not that I care about being stalked or anything, it's just, like, it's hard to explain to someone who's not from Minnesota, but, well, southern Minnesota specifically. But it's like, I was born in the town that I actually went to college at. I was born in that town, and I was like raised. We didn't move until I was 12. It was between 6th and 7th grade that we moved. And the town that I was originally from, just to give perspective, I went to college in Mankato. I think that's pretty well known at this point. When I was a kid, like pre-7th grade, we lived in Madison Lake, which Madison Lake is a really tiny town that is probably like 10-15 minutes away from Mankato. I remember it felt like an eternity to get to Mankato when I was a kid, but now, like, driving from Waseca, which is where my parents live now, to Mankato, it's like Madison Lake was like the halfway point. About, like, it's a little closer to Mankato than it is to Waseca, I think, but like passing by the intersection, I would normally get on, like, we would normally get on the highway to get to Mankato when we lived in Madison Lake. Yeah, so point being, I really pretty much grew up like in the Mankato area, so when I went to college, it wasn't like a totally unfamiliar town. Like, there were aspects of it that I had never explored before. Like, there's kind of, it's split between regular Mankato and North Mankato, and North Mankato we had rarely driven through, and that part at the beginning I did not like driving through because it's like completely downtown area, and I hate driving. I'm better at it now, but like especially when I was like just starting to drive, like when I was 17, 18, I always hated driving in like downtown areas because there's so many stoplights and stopping and going, and cars that'll park really close to the intersections to get on like the main street road, so you can't see when you're turning on it. It's really obnoxious. I actually got pulled over one time in Waseca turning onto the main street road because like I literally could not see. There was cars parked right up to where I was gonna come on, and I just gunned it. I knew there was no one like right there, but I couldn't see beyond a few feet, so I just gunned it and went, and then I got pulled over, and they were like, "Are you on your phone or something?" And I was like, I literally could not see. There was like pretty much nothing I could have done. There was I if I were to creep forward, I would have had to creep all the way like into the lane to see if there was oncoming traffic. So I just went and didn't look back until there were flashing lights behind me. But anyways, yeah, it's just really weird being in a completely new town. It wouldn't be nearly as bad if I had like a partner to like walk out with, because like obviously I'm pretty much the least likely person to ever be targeted by someone. Like, I'm a white male. Like, I'm not exactly in the highest of danger going out like at night or whatever, but it's like just being that it's an unfamiliar area, I don't know. And I actually like when I was feeling super paranoid when I like first moved, I looked up actually the crime rates, and it actually was it's like the town itself is graded at like a D+ or C- or something like that, which kind of surprised me because it does seem like a very quiet town. Like, people just leave their bikes on their front porch, like not tied, not locked or anything. But then I realized, like, when you look at the crime map, the density is up by the border. And the fact that this is, like, the town that I live in now is, like, it's the place that people stop on the way to Canada. So it's, like, it just deals with a lot of tourism here, which can bump up the rates considerably as well. But the thing about crime rates as well is I then actually looked up Waseca's crime rates, like my hometown, and it's only rated at like a C or something. And I was like, Waseca's literally one of the most quiet towns I've ever been in. Like, sure, there's a few like burglary issues, but it's never been anything extreme. And there was like a period of time where we were dealing with like car vandalism or something like that, where people were going around and breaking people's windows and stuff like that, but it was never anything extreme. It's not like Chicago or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I picked pretty short topics this time, but we ended up extending the time a lot by having Patrick on. Now that I'm recording this, I might, generally speaking, as we get further, it's my goal to never miss a week. Some of these might sink into lower end for, the lower end for time. My goal was always to make these last at least an hour and a half. But some topics, there's only so much that can be said, and I don't want to, repeat stuff over and over again. I want to keep variety. I would rather have shorter with more variety in episodes, and I would rather have them be more frequent. Not that once a week is horribly frequent, but... And I'm sure I'll come up with more stuff to talk about as I get more involved with teaching and more involved with everything that's going on here and everything too. But I'm guessing there will be an episode here or there where maybe I'll even struggle to make it an hour at all. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm able to keep it rolling. But that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, wherever you're at in life. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.